This segment is sponsored by Jacobs Financial Services. This week marks the beginning of fall. It's a time of change and transition. I've always struggled with change, feeling the anxiety of ending one routine in favor of another. That has to be what retirement feels like, unless you have a trusted advisor by your side, someone like Tom Jacobs here from Jacobs Financial Services. And Tom, I imagine a lot of folks dread the change that comes with retirement because they just haven't prepared, right?
Well, and the opposite is true. Some people are so excited about the change and entering retirement. But to your point, it's so important that you have a plan when you enter retirement. You don't just go into it blind. And that's exactly what we equip people with is that written plan so they know exactly how retirement's going to work, at least from an income perspective.
So, how do you equip them?
Well, we put together what we call the Jacobs Retirement Roadmap, and we look at the different moving parts along the way in retirement, and we try and help our clients make brilliant decisions so they can maximize Social Security. And they have a plan for their taxes. They know what they're going to do with their pension. We've made a decision what to do with the money we've saved in the company 401k. We map that all out. We show them when we're going to start removing dollars. And by the way, the scariest phase of retirement for most people is the distribution phase when we start taking money out. Most folks are just so laser focused on growth, accumulation, rate of return. And that's really not what it's about in retirement. In retirement, it's about, gosh, I've worked really hard. I've accumulated this money. How do I keep it? How do I preserve the money? And how do I use that money to create an income stream that will last me the rest of my life?
But how do I have an income stream if I've retired from my job and my paycheck from my employer is no longer coming in, Tom?
Well, we have to use the sources that are available to you. So you're going to have an income from Social Security. When are we going to take that? How do we maximize that? If you have a pension, which some folks still do, how do we take the pension? But if you have money that you have saved, that money you have saved is the money that's going to get you to the finish line. We have to have a really clear and good strategy on how to best use that money in a way that will never exhaust it.
And so you talk about where moving out of the market, because when you're in your retirement years or approaching, risk is not your friend, but and moving it to someplace more secure. Talk a bit about where you move it.
Yeah, so most people are invested in securities. They're invested in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, variable annuities. Those are places where your money can go up and your money can go down. I don't believe in that. I think once we have approached retirement, as we get older, we take less risk. We use insurance-based products. I love fixed index annuities. For a lot of people, annuity is a bad word, and that's because they don't understand how they work and how powerful they are. There's some that are much better than others. We used a product called a fixed indexed annuity. If the market's going down, your principal stays exactly the same. You never, ever, never, ever lose your money. But if the markets are going up, you get to enjoy some of the upside potential without taking the downside risk.
You don't go all the way up, because the trade-off for being able to never lose a penny is that you also don't experience the down.
That's exactly right. Another way of saying it, when the market goes up, you go up. Notice I didn't say all the way up.
Yeah.
But in exchange for not getting all of the potential upside, you will never, ever, never, ever lose one single penny of your principal. And I think that is so, so darn important once we hit retirement.
You have said the distribution part is the toughest part for a lot of people. I thought you would say the getting started part. What does the getting started part with you look like, Tom?
Well, with regard to that, the number one thing that I see that kills people retirement planning is procrastination. I'll do it next Thursday. I'll
Yeah.
do it after Sarah's wedding in June. And people kick the can down the road. One of the most important things is not to procrastinate. Get started. Meet with a professional that knows what they're doing, that can help you with all of these really important decisions. And then let's put together that written plan so you know how you can access your money.
All right, Tom is the guy, folks. If you'd like to sit down with him and get things going, stop kicking that can down the road, visit jacobsfs.com or call the number that you see there on your screen. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.